What's up guys? Today I'm teaching you guys another one of TaylorCutFilms transitions. It's off of Remembrance and it's the picture frame tutorial, which man, he made look really good, flawless. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys that in After Effects. So first let's watch it and then let's jump in and get straight to the tutorial. So here we go. Alright guys, so after you have opened After Effects and you have got your two clips in, for us it'll be my girlfriend Michaela here walking on the beach, and then we have just a random picture frame in my house, or in my apartment I should say, but I just slowly pan away from it. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace the picture inside with the scene before it, okay? Sounds tough, but it's actually pretty simple. So you have your two clips in, and the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to find the ending point at which you want to pause and have that picture stop and end up in the picture frame. So for me it is going to be this frame right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click, come up to time and go freeze on last frame. And what that's going to do is it's going to pretty much freeze this video on that frame right there. So that's the one where we want to. So you're going to then hit Control Shift D and it's going to cut that layer, bring the picture frame layer back up to here. And so now the key to this effect is that we're going to want to zoom this video way in so it's surrounded by the picture frame, so it's actually, the picture frame doesn't even show in the initial clip. And that'll kind of make sense here in a second, but you're going to hit S on your picture frame clip for scale, and let's scale it to about 300%. And now you can see what I mean is that we're really zoomed in. Now we still have this picture frame over here, so what we're going to want to do is let's keyframe scale, and then I'm actually going to then come up and bring up position. We're going to keyframe position, and I'm going to move this over so none of the picture frame is showing. So that's good about right there. Then move your clip ahead, say, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 frames. It's up to you. I'm going to go about this much. It's not too important. And then we're going to bring this position back to its normal position. So it was 960 for me here. And we are then going to come back, hit S for scale, and we're going to bring this scale back down to 100%. Okay. So in this instance right here, we have it really zoomed in, and then it's zooming out to right there, to that pan. And if that's too much, we can even move that further, which I think is I'm gonna like, just because I don't want it to happen so fast. Alright, so after you have this complete here and you have your clip below it, what we are then going to want to do is then take this clip, which is a dot move clip. So you can use After Effects to track, to 3D track, but there's some limitations to it. But After Effects comes with a free program called Mocha AE, and in Mocha AE you can track it, but it's only supported on certain file types. So I had some trouble at the beginning trying to import a .mp4 file, but it does not support that. So what I had to do is I took my clip, just put it in After Effects, and then rendered it to a .move, which is QuickTime, and Mocha AE supports that. So just a heads up, if you're going to try this transition, make sure your file format is in .move. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on this file, and we're going to right click, or sorry, we're going to come up to animation, and we're going to go track in Mocha AE, and it's going to open up this separate program. And we are going to go OK, and bam, our clip's in. Now all you have to do is you're going to come up to this button right here, which has a big X and a pencil, and it's called X Spline Layer Tool. We're going to click it and just draw an outline on the inside of your picture frame. So you're pretty much creating a square for it to track here. Go right there, and that's left clicking, and then right click stops creating points here. So then what you're going to do is come down and you're going to click this little T in the arrow key, which is called track forward. And when you click it, it's going to go frame by frame, and it's going to track inside of this picture frame here. And this is going to happen in 3D space. Alright guys, so Mocha AE had just finished tracking it, and as you can see that if you were going to scroll through, you can see that it has tracked every single point on and in this picture frame where you have set your key points. So what you're going to do is come down to Export Tracking Data. You're going to drop down this arrow key and make sure that it's on After Effects Transform Data, and you're going to hit Copy to Clipboard, excuse me. Go back to your After Effects composition, and you're going to come up here and you're going to go Layer, New, Null Object. Then delete, Control Shift D, and you want to make sure your null object starts at the same point that your clip frame or your picture frame clip starts. And then you're going to make sure that you're on this first keyframe, and you're going to hit Control V. And what that's going to do is it's going to paste all of those tracking points onto this null object. So later on we can parent our picture frame to this null object, and it pretty much is then tracked within that picture frame. It makes it really handy. So after you've done that, the next thing to do is then all we have to do is mask out this picture that we don't want so our other picture shows through. So the way to do this here is we now are going to come to our picture frame clip, and we are going to create a pen tool, and we are going to create a mask around this picture here. And since this whole picture is showing, we want the mask to be all the way around it. And then we're going to go down a keyframe, and you notice that it's starting, the picture frame is starting to show here. So we're going to go here. Oh, one thing I always forget to do is make sure you come on and animate the mask path here. So let's go back to that first clip and bring these out here. Otherwise what's going to happen is you're just going to create different points all over again. So there's one, there's our second, third, fourth. I'm only going to do it every so often here. Oopsies, I don't want to create a second mask. And we will page down again a few, and we will move this down again and page down. So this is where it starts to come in over here, so I'll probably move it over here, and then I'll hit Shift. And hitting Shift allows you to just move one point at a time in case you have all selected. Just a quick tip. Page down allows you to move frame by frame. Oh, my bad. So something else to consider is that your mask is shrinking because this clip is being scaled at the same time as we're moving it down, which we have already done. So if you're wondering why the heck is my mask changing, that is the reason. So you're just gonna have to keep expanding it. But pretty much the whole point of this is that you want to keep masking it within the picture frame here. So I will fast forward this in the sequence so I don't bore you guys. Alright guys, so after you have had the whole thing masked, which I have just shown you guys, what you're going to want to do is just come over to your mask. You're going to want to hit, you don't have to animate it, but mask feather, and I would say, man, 10 pixels max, maybe even 5 pixels would look good. You don't need too much, and then all you're going to do is come up and hit inverted. And bam, look at that. Now your picture is inside the picture frame. So if we come back and we run this here, we have our clip that is moving, and then it stops and our picture frame slowly comes in, and since it's tracking it, now if you notice though is that our picture in the back here is frozen completely, so it's almost as if we're seeing a bunch of different images like it's still moving. And so the way to fix this is based off this null object we created. So we're going to come down to this frozen frame right here, this frozen video, and we are going to come down to parent, and we're going to parent it to null 2. And what that's going to do is that mean that this is going to track using that data that we did in Mocha AE. So as it goes, the image should show you the exact same thing throughout, just like that. You see that we're only seeing her face throughout. Alright guys, so after you've done that, the last thing to do is make sure that this clip and this clip line up. And as you can see, I have the scalings correct, which you want to make sure you do. So the scale is 80% here and the scale is 80% there. But because we parented this to this null, it changed the position of the scale. So all we're going to have to do is come back down to this, and we have to come into position here. We're just going to have to raise the y-axis up just a tad here, and then you kind of just have to play around with it. So it looked like I moved it down too far. We're going to bring it back up maybe to there, and so it moves up even more. So bring it up, bam, look at that. That's pretty tough to tell that anything even switches, especially when we add the turbulent displace. So after that is complete, you are going to highlight all your clips. We are going to right click and we're going to pre-compose the clips. And I will just call this picture frame comp. We'll hit OK. So then we're going to come over, search for turbulent displace, and apply that to our clip here. And so what we're going to do is find the spot where the frames switch, which is right here. We're going to go right on that spot, so that's like right there, and we're going to come into our effects. We're going to go to turbulent displace. We're going to animate all of these, or most of them here, and that is going to be our starting point, and we're going to actually put the amount to 0 for the starting point, so it's like nothing happened. Come over maybe 5 or 10 frames, and we're going to put the amount up to 50. The size of 100 is fine. Offset, you can kind of just make it so it's not typical. The evolution here, which I should have animated at the beginning, we will put a keyframe there, and then we'll go to the next keyframe. We will just make it 1, and we will make it maybe 10 degrees, nothing too crazy. And then come over to maybe about where almost the whole picture frame is coming into the frame, and we are then going to reset this down to 0. That's fine. We're going to reset this to 0. Size is fine. Amount we're then going to put as 0. So what happens is we have our normal clip, and then it is going to, bam, it's going to turbulent displace, and it's going to come back into our normal clip here. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And this is what the final clip looks like. So I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. Some things to consider here are obviously to transition, he changed the color of it, which is easily done by just adding a different lumetri color to your frozen clip and just fading it in during that turbulent displace, and it'll be that color. And other than that, guys, that is the transition. If you like that, please hit the like, please subscribe, let me know what other tutorials you'd like to see, and check out some of my other videos. I made this dope Yellowstone video. Would love if you check it out. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.